Halo. Calling Halo. Are you with me? Are
I
you
am
there?
100% with you.
Yes, and I
I
can
am
see that you have
100%.
the kind of the largest screen in the template because being taller, it only makes sense. I mean, this is
Finally, it's
what
my time
we
to shine. Finally, it's
yes,
my time to shine. I'm the guest today.
if
Look at me
we
now.
I can see you. I mean, I can see you because you're huge, and also like if we were in real life, this is exactly how people would see us. Like, I'd be kind of smaller and to the side, and you'd be kind of, one full head taller and kind of towering over everything. So it only makes sense to reflect that in our Builders Lounge template, don't you think?
Well, I agree. I mean, but I'm a very humble giant, I would say so myself, and my friends would probably most cases agree. But what I want to say, now that I have the spotlight, this is really good for me. So I can finally run this a bit more less
No
structure
way.
and break stuff together. We can talk about bunch of stuff that relates to building or anything, any type of experience that you might have on Solana or in any ecosystem as well. It doesn't matter. This is a builder's lunch. Doesn't matter if you're building bricks or a software or whatever it is,
Or a sandwich,
or a
whatever it
sandwich.
is
Exactly.
we're building here. But talking about building, I had a quite an interesting experience yesterday because at the end of the day, if you build, you're going to start with a spec, right? I mean, no matter how vibe codey you are, you're going to have to kind of write down what your system needs to do and how do you imagine it doing it and all sorts of things that we call, a specification, a spec. And oh, we got a guest. They're coming in. Let's go. Great. Okay. I added you, Kelsey. Turn your mic on and let us hear your voice. A bit far away, not very well.
All right, how's this?
That's kind of better. How
That's
you
kind
doing
of
today?
doing good. All right.
Great, great, great. Been looking forward to talking to you. We were kind of, me and Halo were kind of engaging in filler talk, but now we have the real deal. So,
Now we're here.
yes, this is great. So, I've looked at your X and I see you're coming up very new.
Yes.
And I'm kind of excited about what you're doing. But what we do here at the Builders Lounge, before we start talking about getting all excited about the product and how it's going to change the world and all that, we like to talk about the people.
Mm.
So the question is kind of like, what's the vibe in the Reejob office? How long have you been working on it in the shadows? How many are you a solo founder or are you a team? How did you
Mhm.
meet? That kind of stuff. Tell us all
Mhm.
about yourselves.
Yeah. Great. So I'll start first with myself and then expand a little bit to the other team members. Yeah. So my name is Kelsey. I've been a part of the Rejob project since the late April. I would say the end of April, beginning of May. And the team had been building for several months before that, before I joined the project. And how I came to Rejob was actually through the Coliseum Hackathon that was hosted by the Solana Super Team Germany. And I put out an open call. I was just looking to join a team. And I said, hey, I'm looking for a team. These are my skills. Like, is anybody looking for another teammate? And one of the co-founders messaged me, Mehdi, and we had a conversation. And I was like, yeah, tell me why I should be part of your team. And it was very convincing because the platform is for freelancers. And I have been a freelancer myself. I'm not like a full-time freelancer, but I know some of the
Ins and
difficulties.
outs.
Exactly. Some of the difficulties when thinking about freelancing, and mostly you're thinking about, okay, chasing that invoice, chasing that payment. And so I thought, yeah, the project really resonated with me, and so that's how I joined, really. But the team was founded by Mehdi, and he has been working full time on this project for a while. And yeah, I'm just coming in supporting as a team member. At the moment, I'm doing mostly like social media and doing like pitching. So I was the one who pitched for the hackathon, and yeah, just being present at events in Berlin, kind of being the face of Reejob here in Berlin, which is where I'm living currently.
Great, great. This is
Hmm.
very interesting and unusually recursive because you were in the position of the end users of Rejob before you joined
Mm-hmm.
Rejob, and
Exactly.
and so like it kind of worked for you, we could say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now
Yes.
you're on the other side, but you're bringing with you all your personal experience,
Exactly.
being that kind of person looking to get into a team and so on. And like
Mm-hmm.
fresh off
Mm-hmm.
that personal experience, you joined the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm excited because I think there's it's a gaping void that needs to be filled. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Yes.
teams have tried and and not really we couldn't say they succeeded because I'm not aware of any kind of main
Mm-hmm.
actor in the field of
Mm-hmm.
finding web-free jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
So but the need is there, so how are you
Needs
going to
there.
fill it?
Yes. Yes.
How are you going to fill it in a way that is going to be better than who came before you?
Sure. So, I mean, there's a couple things that set Rejob apart from our main competitors. And I guess if you look at normal Web 2 freelancing platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, that's mostly where people know to go to find freelancers. But the issues with these platforms are they put holds on your accounts, they can keep your money for 14 days, there's scams and everything. So, one of um, the good things about Rejob is that the fees are lower and then the payment is instant. So um, it is meant for people who are working in Web3, definitely developers, community managers, those types of freelancers, but also it could be a way to introduce people coming from Web 2 into Web 3 because they're experiencing these frustration, these high fees and everything, and they're like, okay, how can I make this better? And then it could be, a way to introduce and expand the market even more into not just Web3 freelancers, but people who are coming from Web2 and they're like, okay, let's try this Web3 thing out. So I would say that those are definitely some differentiators there. But then also, when it comes to how the freelancer is paid, this is definitely like the highlight of what Rejob is doing, is because it's through escrow. So there's a smart contract that's built on Solana. It's holding all the code there for the payment um, to be released when the project is released. So say you hire me, you want me to do some graphic design or design a website for you. We make an agreement on the app, on the website, with our profiles. And then once we agree, the payment from you automatically goes into escrow. And so I don't have to worry about chasing you for the payment whenever the project is done, because as soon as I submit and you approve, then I get paid right away. So I think this, I mean, it's attractive for anybody, to get paid in a timely manner, but definitely for freelancers who know this struggle so well, I think this is going to, yeah, hopefully change their lives. I can keep going. I can say more. um,
Sorry, that was me fiddling with my little mic, but now it's
that's okay.
it's working. And
I was like,
no,
I'm
that
ready to
is a
ad lib.
game.
Let's go.
It's no, it is a game changer because it allows freelance to basically filter out anyone who wasn't going to put the money up front. which is like
Yes.
a huge amount of what then creates problems.
Yeah.
So this is very exciting. And uh, what is the status of the product right now? Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
actually have some openings running? I saw
Mm-hmm.
on your account that you were actually looking for test customers.
Yes, yes.
So this must be kind of the right time, like you're just starting out, aren't you?
Yeah, I would say that we have about 100 people right now who are in our test flight app. So it's going to be, it is an iOS app. So we have about 100 people testing and sending us feedback for the app. But then we have additional freelancers who have already signed up, about 200 or more, who have signed up on the platform. And then, of course, there are people who are not the freelancers. So we're still at the beginning, but we definitely have a couple hundred people on there testing and ready to go. I would say, yes, so that mostly covers like the freelancer side, which is to be expected. You know, people are excited about a product like this. And so what we're really looking for now is for the clients who are looking to hire freelancers. You know, we have some job postings there. And of course we did some test posts to check all the payment flow and everything, which has been good. But yeah, now we're looking for the clients who are looking to hire freelancers. And so we're trying to find like our first 10 clients that we can do like in-person onboarding with, and make sure the process is, you know, pristine from A to Z pretty much. So that's the process that we're currently at. But then alongside that, we also started a partnership with Super Team Talents. And so they post full-time job positions in Web3. And we started a partnership with them because we're like, okay, we would love to help freelancers, you know, find their next gig, Web3 freelancers find their next gig, but we also can help them find a full-time position if that's what they're wanting. So then there's like two sections on the website. There's for the freelancers and then there's for the job seekers. And so you can have a browse through there and then apply directly to those jobs through our Super Team Talent link.
Okay, great. That was exactly where I wanted to take you, because I think super teams are really, you could really be the kind of the missing link that makes things move faster. But hey, now I see we have a Kevin. Hey,
Yes,
Kevin,
Kevin.
great to
Hello,
meet you.
everybody. How's it
Hey,
going?
Hello, how you
Kevin.
doing?
Awesome. Cannot complain. Although it's quite warm here in Germany, but everything else is quite fine.
It is warm. I've got my
Yes.
fan pointed right at me, to be honest.
Like, okay, that's that little wind I could hear in the background. Okay, now I
Oh
understand.
no,
Yes,
hopefully
it
it's not
is.
distracting.
No,
I can
it's
point it
absolutely
away.
soundless. No, it's soundless. That was just
Okay.
me joking, because it is really hot here as well. We're kind of drinking like 3 to 4 liters of
Absolutely.
water every day just to survive. Which is fun, because then, when you have a nice cold shower, you can do it like you really mean it. But okay,
Yes,
Kevin.
exactly.
So we've been kind of learning about the project, and Reejob sounds really exciting. And I think this is an exciting moment because you're kind of really branching out, starting new things, looking for to onboard people. Already have some freelancers kind of standing in, and uh, a partnership with Super Team, which will definitely bring some movement. So, what else are you cooking? Because this already seems a lot, but I'm sure you have more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I mean, our priority is to create a super slick and simple UX as well, so that we can onboard not only Web3 but also Web2 users. So since they are right now just used to earn less on current platforms, and we want to just help them to earn more, essentially by taking less of a cut, of course, because of Web3 system that is just lightweight, I would say, So then the next steps would be to then explain this to the Web2 crowd, actually, so that they are then gonna join to Reejob, because while we have the support of the Web3 community already, we could and will then progress to the Web2 space then slowly but surely.
Absolutely, because also one thing that not very many people mention aloud often is to onboard the masses.
Yes.
As end users, you need to build stuff that is cool, and for that you need builders, you need community people, you need communication, marketing people, and so on, and those people need to be onboarded as well. And up to now, I would say, yeah, a lot of people got onboarded. A lot of people also got rugged, were stuck in positions with projects that couldn't really pay them. And it was a bit of a wild west. So you're kind of coming in to fix that. What is the hard part of, that kind of gap between theory and practice? We have this contract, we signed, everyone's cool, but then, a couple of months after, there's some sort of disagreement. How do you
Yeah,
handle that?
exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about next, actually, with what is coming next with Reejob. And it's exactly that. It's disputes. So just to lay the groundwork a little bit. So you and I make an agreement, and we decide, okay, I'm going to design your website for you, and then I deliver the goods to you, and you don't respond within 48 hours. Like, you don't approve. You have 48 hours to approve, and if you don't, then the payment goes to the freelancer. And then vice versa, if there's a problem from the freelancer side, you can make a dispute. So at the beginning of this, we're going to have moderators to sort through the disputes to see, okay, who gets the money, what happened. But we are incorporating some AI agents who are going to take over that process for us. So of course, we're going to give them the guidelines. Okay, this is what a dispute is, and they're going to go through several tests to make sure that they're making the right decision on what the dispute is and who gets the money, basically. So that is a current partnership integration that we're working with. And yeah, so that's definitely coming very soon down the road. I can't give you like a deadline or anything, but yeah, this is one of our top priorities.
Absolutely. That's super interesting. And the time pressure definitely makes sense. If both parties are willing to resolve, they will need to, get on it and deliver.
Exactly.
And yeah,
Because
and
I
that
think,
sounds.
yeah, like
Yep, go
you
ahead.
asked you asked the question, what could be like the road blocker, basically, for people embracing this. And I think, people, especially, well, I mean, coming from Web 2, Web 3, whatever, people don't want to be scammed. They want to use a system that is safe and secure, and they know that it works. So that's definitely number one priority. Is we want to be like, hey guys, this is safe, and you just got to trust the process, basically. So.
Absolutely. And another thing that comes to mind with this kind of product category you're working with is some sort of layer of reputation system, history on both sides, companies hiring people in companies. Is that something that you've been planning on, or is it kind of further down the road, or do you want to not do that part? What's your take on that?
As far
So
as, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
yeah, so a reputation system is inevitable because we can, we can just map the reputation then on chain and then have the entire history of a company or even a freelancer then as well at one point on chain, so that we will then know if we should actually work with these people, and this can just be solved through an on-chain reputation then at one point, which is of course inevitable. So this is definitely gonna come. I don't think that it's gonna come quite soon because the reputation system is quite a complex topic. Because I mean, you at first have to define how to how to value a reputation, and you have to figure out how to save the metadata as well on chain, and how to juggle it around, and whether it's going to be then some sort of a non-fungible document or so, or that is then going to be managed by the entire protocol then. And but these are definitely thoughts that we are gonna then execute once we gonna think about the reputation system, because it's going to be
I'm
quite a
sure
complex
there's
topic.
yes, there's I think when you put blockchain into the mix, it's suddenly becomes more interesting as a problem, as a kind of non-trivial problem that you might want to kind of build organically based on how people react to the platform, how they use it, and because you kind of introduce a second layer issue, is that then the reputation itself becomes a kind of tradable good, you know.
Mm, yeah.
So like on any platform that has some level of reputation, I mean even Twitter, like even X, you can sell your account because you have a certain number of followers and whatever, you're not blocked, you're not so if it's kind of, I think I think you can file that in cool problems to have, because like if you do have that problem, it means that the product really worked and that people were actually able to build profiles of value on your platform. Then that's a cool problem to have, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Definitely, we are definitely gonna focus on that too, because I mean, at one point it would be cool to have as well social credit, so that you can then just take a loan because you have already a certain level of a reputation, which can
Uh-huh.
eventually also then come through collaborations with companies, for example, so that someone
Oh, that.
will just give you a loan because you're a trustworthy person. So this is a problem that that Aave, for example, is also thinking about, and the space hasn't solved this yet. But I mean, eventually this is going to be solved probably through smart contract accounts rather, and then we will see how we can then facilitate this then too. But it would be actually pretty cool to then take out loans after collaborating with certain companies because you're trustworthy, right? And this would be enabled by the
Yeah,
web.
that makes a lot of sense because you have like the same venue. I mean, from a freelancer perspective, you have the same venue that basically gets you a job, and after a while, after a certain threshold, actually trusts you enough to be also the same venue for your, let's call it, payday loan. So like,
Mm,
it's not necessarily just a random loan from someone. Is actually saying, okay, I got this job. I'm going to be paid in 2 months, but I need like 30% now. And, in the same platform, having that thing could be actually pretty awesome. What do you
mm.
think, Halo? You the still looking for a reputation. What do you think? Could this be the time you actually able to build one, Halo? Come on.
Well, the thing is, I was gonna get into the reputation, but you guys got already covered that. So while I was thinking about another question, I realized, are you guys also thinking that like making this platform also for AI agents? Because they're also looking for work at the same time too, when you think about it. So have you guys ever had a thought of just building like I think same guardrails could go with that, and then you just implement some sort of AI payment rail, which like there's a bunch of agent payment rails. So I just wondered that and like throw that out into the discussion.
That's a solid question, Halo. I wasn't expecting that. That's really,
Yeah,
yeah. Great
I
question.
wasn't
Okay,
expecting that
let's see.
either.
Yeah, I wanted to turn things around a little bit. Now, like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, they're stealing our jobs, but like they should be able to also, they have rights too, you know, I mean, maybe they do also need a job.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question and topic. To my knowledge, we haven't had any conversations about that, but I'm not privy to like every technical conversation. So to my knowledge, no. But that could change in the future, of course.
But then,
I mean,
okay, so let me chip in on
so
this a second, Halo,
can
because
I would like to jump into that actually.
yeah,
So I
go
mean,
ahead, go ahead.
so the priority right now is to first combat the rising unemployment rates right now. So this is why we still focus on jobs for humans. And then at one point, I mean, humans can also, for example, get hired by agents at one point. For example, I have an assistant that is that is an agent, and I need something or a service then, and then require this agent to hire someone to get this job done. So this would require then X402 payment rails probably then for Reejob, and this is definitely feasible because we're on Solana anyway, and Solana has X402 payment rails. So agents paying for services or buying a freelancer is viable, but having a marketplace then for agents so that you can buy agents. I mean, at one point, this can be as well viable since freelancers, I think, will also have their own agents that they would like to then have have on some sort of payment plan, whether it's per request or something like that, so that companies can just consult a freelancer without booking him first, for example. But yeah, this might come down the road, but it's definitely
Yes,
viable. So
yes, I have another dimension I would like to add to this conversation because I think it's super interesting, and my take is, how do you even know who's an agent and who's a human? At some point, I'm sending my own agent to scout for jobs on a platform, and it's scouting jobs for me, a human. So like it's pretty close. Or I have an agent that I've trained to do very specific stuff that I feel is undervalued, whatever. And I have sent him on a job board to look for jobs exactly that narrow skill that I've trained it with. And who's going to know if it's an agent or a person unless you kind of specifically try to filter out? But then the problem is you can maybe more or less reliably tell an agent from a human, but you can't really tell the intention. Is this a human automating an interaction by an agent, or is this an agent looking for a job for itself, or is this an agent looking to hire a human, like you said, which is also super interesting because agents don't have hands and humans do. So it makes a lot of sense that agents would need humans to do some certain stuff.
yeah, so I think this can be solved through a solid proof of humanity protocol. So we have a few that try to become that, but I feel like it's still not there where it has to be. So that we can then identify on chain if someone's a human or an agent. So we have just probabilities essentially that can be calculated then for the user then on chain. And I think the next step, additionally to the proof of humanity protocol, would be then a smart account essentially that is then being controlled by either an agent or a human, so that we can then implement into this smart account then the agent himself, so that we know who's controlling this one smart account, for example. But apart from that, if we still gonna stick to wallets, for example, or email logins, we definitely will not know if this is right now an agent or a human, because I mean, just take a look at X. We have no clue who in the comment section is right now an AI or a human, because we don't have any verification methods in there. So I think this is why
that's
we
fine.
need to first.
As long as the job gets done, it's fine.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
I,
so go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but it. I mean, it's it's not up to us right now to figure out who's an agent and who isn't, because I mean, if we would implement the first proof of humanity protocol, and then uh, this one is gonna be flawed, and then the other one comes up, and this one is also going to be flawed, and then it would just create a gigantic overhead
I
that
think
is just
so, exactly.
unnecessary, you know. So I think
Yes,
the
that's
best
my
would
thinking.
really to just
I think
wait
it
for the
makes sense
perfect one.
for some strictly legal stuff, or maybe, property ownership and stuff like that. But otherwise, the problem is, even if you can reliably tell the applicant is a human or an agent, it doesn't really tell you anything about the intentions. It doesn't tell you if this
Mm,
is an agent wanting to act as an agent, or an agent just automating boring work for a human. And there's no way of
True.
really telling that unless you're really case by case. But one other thing that I think is super relevant for Rejob is the people, the crowd, the super teams, the meetings, the kind of in real
mhm,
life interaction.
mhm,
And this is
mhm,
something that I think is very cool on Solana. There is a lot of in real
mhm,
life opportunity of exchange, but still it's something that you can kind of never have enough of. The more
mm,
interaction you have with the ecosystem, the better. And
mhm,
so, how are you looking at that? To get a bit of a movement going. Are you going to throw a party or anything? What are your plans
mhm.
on that side, kind of community
Yeah,
side?
sure. So here in Berlin, there is a building, the Web3 hub, and that is where like the super team Germany has been holding their like co-working Fridays, which I like to go to every now and then. And they also were hosting events for Berlin Blockchain Week. And so it's a really great, I mean, like the name says, hub, to meet people. So yeah, we were just present at these events, the Solana Summit, some events for Blockchain Week. And moving forward, we're just hoping to continue these partnerships. So, for example, we would love to, we're in talks with the Web3 Hub about doing a community brunch, because it's not just a place where people, come on Fridays to co-work, but there's also an entire floor that's dedicated to people who run their own businesses or who are freelancers. And they have community events, like ping pong or brunch, or meeting somebody up for coffee, and it's very community focused. And so we're hoping to do an event, a brunch there, in the next few weeks, just to keep spreading the word. And then I was chatting with our contact from super team talent, and just saying like, hey, how do you guys get the word out? They have booths at like big conferences all over the world. So of course that would be amazing, to travel to these different conferences and meet people from all over the world, because we're not just concentrating a Rejob in Europe. We want people in India to know about it, in Africa, people who might have a hard time, opening a bank account in their country. So yeah, the organic growth that we're experiencing on X has been great, but then also, yeah, these in-person, I think, starting these in-person appearances in Berlin is just like the starting point. And then the more people that we meet, either in real life or online, we can just keep, spreading and spreading. And then also we have some exciting partnerships that are starting to form also in the States. We have, I mean, I can't say too much, but we have the founder of Venmo. He is very interested in partnering with us, to spread Rejob, and maybe do some partnerships and initiatives, marketing things to get people excited about the platform. Yeah,
Yeah, so just like that, you dropped a potentially colossal partnership there. Let's hope that goes
exactly,
through, because that
exactly.
would be that would be definitely amazing. And I was thinking about the product itself, and I think it's not an easy product, because if on one side you do have a lot of prior history, a lot of prior art to look at, a lot of organization trying to do more or less the same thing in Web2 in a very boring way since decades ago and so on. But at the same time, you're doing it in in a different world, a world of Web3 that moves at different speeds and has different expectations and so on. And so I think you must be somehow wanting to reinvent a few things that just feel old when you look at competitors and other people. So I was wondering if there's anything about the product, and like one thing that comes to mind is this a product to find gigs, or to actually hire people, or both? Those kind of product choices. What could you share about that with us?
Yeah, sure. I would say there's definitely space for both. Of course, those who are just looking for one-off gigs, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunities for that. But the hope is that, you don't just come to the platform and use it once. You don't just come there and find one freelancer, but if you're trying to ship something, you need a UX UI designer, you need a developer, you need your social media guy. So why not find all of these people on Reejob on one platform? And if you like their work, you can say, hey, I've got another job for you lined up. So it is, of course, people are going to use the platform how they want, but we want to build it in a way. It's like you're not just hiring somebody for one thing, but you are building a team if you want that. We want you to be able to find what you're looking for, whether that is a one-time job or an ongoing project.
Got it. Okay, great.
Mhm.
Yes, I think that's the right way to do it. And also, the luxury of being early in launch is also
Mhm.
the ability to watch what happens, how
Mhm.
people react, the sentiment, and
Mhm.
steer accordingly,
Yeah.
like
I
Halo has
would
been doing
say
all his life. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we're gonna be like the first iOS app with this type of payment infrastructure for Web3 freelancers. So it's not just something that you access on your desktop. You can download the app and then do the complete payment flow in your app as well. So right now we're just working towards the Apple Store, but then the other app stores, Google, and hopefully soon also Seeker. Yeah, so that's definitely it helps. It's a standout point as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Halo, talking about continuous improvement and organic growth.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've been cooking some really difficult questions, so we can finish off with a bang here with Kelsey.
Oh, now I'm scared.
Well, well, I mean, I think the AI question was like very, very decent, but I wanna
Hmm.
ask something that's could maybe define how you guys like been through this journey. So when you like started, uh, like when you guys started building Rejob, um, what do you guys thought? Like, did you guys think, oh, this is like, oh, there will be a lot of companies that wants to hire, or like, did you guys think, oh, there will be a lot of freelancers? Like, what did you guys after you launched? Like, was there anything you guys didn't expect but happened in terms of the
Hmm.
ratio of people that are using it,
Hmm.
and also
Hmm.
what type of difficulties maybe you guys like having right now or like came up with that you
Hmm.
thought like there wouldn't be any issue in that?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. I won't be able to speak 100% to this topic since I wasn't around on day one of founding the idea. Um, so yeah, I can start with the challenges. How about we start there? Um,
Yes.
like I said, it's been really exciting to be at in-person events, especially in Berlin this past week and a half, to meet people. And I would say that one of my main goals in networking is to find the clients that are hiring, and people are just not really hiring right now because of the market. So whether you're in Web3 or you're in Web2 or you have you're not technical at all. It's just a difficult job market at the moment. But that's not making us, take any steps back. We're just saying, okay, this is a good opportunity to make the product really, really good. And then hopefully, when people start hiring again, then everything is up and ready to go. So I would say, when I joined the project at the end of April, I wasn't necessarily aware of these challenges. I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. So I'm coming from the freelancer side, so I'm just thinking about, oh, this is such amazing for freelancers, but I wasn't really thinking about who's going to hire me, So that's why we're trying to do a push on our socials is like, yeah, we want to find and onboard these clients, and, walk them through step by step in order to not just have more jobs that are offered for the freelancers, but to make sure the process is, pristine before hopefully the job market picks up again.
Absolutely. This is actually a great take. And, this is what happens in markets. And when market is calm, some players establish themselves quietly, like, without fanfare. It's just that people start using that thing because it's just the most convenient, the better product, the fastest, whatever. And then when the market explodes, late comers will try to kind of fit in and jump in, but it's going to be too late. The name that was established before the expansion is the one that's going to win. So
there we go.
that's how it works. It's a great point of view. Yes, and that was actually a good question, Halo. I mean, I'm gonna have to start testing you more. Have you got another one ready? Like, I want to see. I want to get to the end of this. Halo, have you got any more good questions?
I don't know if this goes out as a question per se, but I want to touch on. Yeah, I mean, usually, yeah. I try my best. We are all human, right? And
so far, you're doing great.
Yeah, and I also gotta convince people that I'm not an AI agent too. So just in case, and fingers crossed. But yeah, I wanted to touch point on what Kelsey said as well, because I also look at it from a perspective of freelancer or like a person that's trying to get a job. But also, I think the real, I don't want to say like challenge, but I think real improvement comes from the perspective of the companies, because I think at the moment with how the AI is coming up as well, it's a bit harder to recognize like real good human talent and differentiate that from AI slop, which is what it is in most cases. So I know you guys are working on some reputation layers, like reputation stuff, but like I don't know. I want to know like if you guys have any sort of plan that could like assess a bit like on a different way, assess the work that's being done by the freelancer, or vice versa, the works that being asked from the company, but like if anyone can list it in any type of way, like I mean, there is like a value to a task, but they can ask for cheap, and then the freelancer is not going to put that much effort. So the quality of the, how did you guys like what do you guys think on that? Like how to balance that quality? Yeah.
That's a super tough question, Halo, because I can tell, from an engineering perspective, the thing is, when things get going and you have volume, whatever you're doing, if you're selling potatoes, if you're a job board, if you're some DeFi protocol, whatever it is, once you have volume, you can have some level of relative ranking. So you'll never know how good, in the case of a job board, you'll never know how good that specific freelancer is, but you will know that it places in the kind of like the top 10. So you have a relative scale, and that's kind of good enough. But at the beginning, it's super hard because you don't have that. You don't have any kind of anchorage. You don't have a place, to compare. So that's a super tough question, Kelsey. specifically from him
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I won't be able to answer the question in full like you're hoping for, I think, but I will say, it's in Reejob's best interest to make sure that everything is quality, because in reality, we're only going to make money when clients are hiring freelancers, and so we want to make sure that everybody is who they say they are. How we're going to do that specifically, is above my head. And so, but it is, I mean, if we're going to integrate AI agents into helping us figure out disputes, I mean, why not incorporate in the future some agent to help us with this type of verification? But again, I'm not coming from the technical side, but just thinking about this question, yeah, security and reliability, trustworthiness. I mean, these are all like very high priority items for us. And if we don't protect those things, then the project is not going to succeed, because then people aren't going to want to use it,
Yeah, 100%. Kelsey, I don't think anybody has the answer to that. And I
Yeah.
think
Okay,
the answer to that,
No, it's
the
also
answer,
something open for discussion, like it's
no,
not, because sometimes
absolutely.
question
This
is not
is,
a question, right? So
yeah,
it's
it's an
Yeah,
open
that
sure.
type of
discussion.
one.
It's a
I
thinking
mean,
point. Yeah.
it is. Uh, that I think that this point we're landing on here towards the end is kind of that little magical side that every business has,
Mm-hmm.
and if it were maybe a restaurant, it could be some sort of, granny's ingredient that not many people know about. And
Mm-hmm.
if this was a trading desk, you'd have a certain brand of strategies that are kind of in-house and people just don't use, but it works for them. And I think, looking for quality in these kind of job interactions is going to be an interesting adventure. It's going to be something
Mm-hmm.
that you will be building organically, looking at what works and what doesn't. And, the
Mm-hmm.
more something works, the more you accelerate on that. And it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of, it becomes self-serving and improvement. So I think that's going to be like the most interesting part of the job, because I'm sure you're going to solve, the market thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
finding the freelancers, finding the people wanting to hire. That's a case of having good product and good people, which
Mm-hmm.
appears to be, 100% true for Reejob.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, a question of time. The quality is going to be the adventure, I think, of this job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And but yes, is there anything else you would like to add? Let's end on this adventure magical note. So what are your
Yeah,
great
sure.
expectations for this adventure of yours in Reejob in the market? What is the magic you're expecting?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you about the first exciting opportunity we have for people who are thinking about joining Rejob, and is that we just launched a competition basically to win a seeker phone. So it's going to end by August 1st. So if you hear this before then, good luck. And you can find, I'll be posting, I'm helping run the socials, so I'll be posting more details about that this coming week. And then, yeah, the hope is that people are successful on the platform. You could really not just work remote, but you can work on chain. You can get paid your dues when you've done your work. And to really, on the client side, to really cut down on the amount of time it takes to hire and build your team. So it's not just for the freelancers, the benefits, it's for the clients as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, and we sometimes, interviews can take 30 to 60 days, and that keeps your project from launching
we
sooner,
don't have
So
we don't have that kind of time, Kelsey. We need
exactly,
to
everything
act
can change
now.
overnight. We need them now.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah.
I know, and I love the way you're closing on that, because um, I think that's the North Star. What would you like from your experience? That people be successful with the product, and
Yeah.
that's really good, because I think it's the karma of your product,
Mhm.
but also, you know success stories are what sells best. It's the real proof. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
When you have success stories, the goods are there. So
Mhm.
all our best wishes from the Carbium
Thank
team,
you.
from the on-chain team. Thanks for standing in here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
You could have been anywhere else, but you were here with me and Halo, throwing difficult questions at you, and you did really well. And I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to see Reejob blossom. And Halo, any last words before I end the stream?
Well, I completely align with what you said about make your users or clients or whatever your job
Mhm.
is, make them happy so they can make you happy, because your
Mhm.
success depends on their success. If you are
Mhm.
not stealing from them, which
Mm.
is ethically
Yes,
is
we
what
don't
we
want
shouldn't
that.
be doing. Exactly. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's what we are going for in Carvim as well. And we are also trying to support any upcoming builder or anyone that's trying to change their infrastructure or have it a go. You can go to
Mhm.
carvim.io, or you can also fill our partners program form that we carefully design and actually want to accept people on for a couple months of free RPC, or a couple months of like basically free testing.
Mhm.
And are looking forward to see more of on Reejob.
Mm.
And I will definitely sign up. I'll definitely sign up. So
Awesome. Well, I'll look for you
thanks
on the
for coming
platform
on.
then.
Halo, you just gave me a great idea, because Kelsey here is looking for companies who wanting to hire people to do jobs.
This is
And those
true.
companies, if they operate into Web3, they will probably need some infra. Probably right now, if they're hiring, something is moving, something's happening, and we can give them that, at Carbium.
Mm.
As Halo said, we can do a promo together. Hire people, get free infra in one go on the
There we go.
Rejob by
Yeah.
Carbium promo. So yeah, let's talk about that
Yeah,
in
cool.
TG, and let's talk the market.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Okay, great. See you in the M's, and see
All right.
everybody next Thursday, because this is the Builders Lounge, and this was episode 103, which is pretty solid. If you think this is crypto, we are
Yeah.
one of the very few things that haven't yet rugged on Solana. So follow us every Thursday. Thank you again, Kelsey from Rejob. Thank you, Halo.
Very
See
welcome.
everybody next Thursday. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.